Hey there everyone, and welcome to the channel for another Escape from Tarkov video. This time with a quick look at a few underrated early wipe loot runs that can help you stack up some extra loot, money, and gear with minimal risk and no keys required. For this one, I picked out a few of my favorite simple routes on Interchange, Reserve, and Customs that hit duffel bags, weapon crates, hidden stashes, supply crates, and loose loot spawns. And in most cases, they'll end near one of your available extractions. Once you know these runs, you can just run them from start to finish and quickly extract, or just use them to pick up some extra loot after hitting other areas of the map first. They're also pretty useful on scav runs because you don't need any keys to access any of this loot, so these areas can be really nice for quick scav loot runs as well. To start this one off, we'll be going to Interchange for a fairly quick route that lets you hit a whole bunch of hidden stashes, and then get out at either of the available extractions. I'll be starting this run from the Emercom checkpoint extraction and ending close to the railway extract. So regardless of what side you spawn on, you can run this one in either direction and end up at the extraction point. From Emercom, run along the back wall until you're parallel with the loading dock, and then near this abandoned campfire you can find two hidden stashes near boxes with the tarps covering them. Next, continue along the back wall and keep your eyes out for a hidden stash in the bushes on your right hand side as you run along the wall. Keep running along the wall and you'll pass a duffel bag near the burning fire barrel, and then run towards the edge of the tree line, where you can find another hidden stash between several trees. After this one, turn towards the parking lot and run towards the large signpost with the big ultra sign on top, where you can find a hidden stash in the bushes near the single tree. Next, run towards the scav camp on the road and you can find one more hidden stash in the trees close to the concrete walls at the edge of the scav camp. After this, you can either cut through the camp to take out some scavs and loot up the suitcases on the ground here, or you can go around the camp to the right and then cut into the left near the broken blue wall and the loading machine. From here, you can then find two hidden stashes in the trees near the railway tracks. After looting up both of these, continue towards the pile of rubble in the middle of this field, where another stash waits for you near the railway tracks. Finally, there are two more stashes along the back wall. The first is hidden in a bush, and the second is hidden near a big pile of rubble on the back wall. After this, you can just head out to railway extract with all your loot and leave. If you spawned at the railway extraction, just run this route in reverse, and you'll end up at the Emercom extraction, so this one is pretty good to know for quick loot runs. Another really simple but very useful loot run on Interchange is to just head through the parking garage underneath the mall to hit tons of weapon crates and duffel bags, which can get you some valuable gunsmith attachments, good weapons, and some rare items out of the bags. This one is starting from the outside of Idea near the railway extract, and it ends on the back loading bay of the Oli store near the Emercom extraction. So once again, this run can be done from either side and it ends up near your extraction point. First, you want to check the go-kart track outside of Idea for two stashes. The first is in the grass at the center of the tracks, and the second is just outside the chain link fence near the small utility buildings. Next, you're going to run into the Idea store, where you can find three duffel bags located right in the front area of the store, near the entrance to the parking garage. After looting these, run along the edge of the garage and into the glass doors, where you can find a few weapon boxes along with two duffel bags and some loose loot spawns spread around these two rooms and underneath the escalator. From here, exit into the parking garage and aim yourself at the two army tents that you see down here, which each have a weapon crate inside and some loose loot, including possible stims and medicine on the wooden crates. Continue along the parking garage towards the pickup truck underneath the lights, which has a weapon crate in the bed of the truck that you can loot. Inside the chain link fence here, there's three more weapon crates and some loose loot spawns on the tables. Next, you're going to go up the escalator in the back of this area into the Goshan store, and move straight to the back loading bay doors of the store, looting up the two weapon crates in your path along the way. Through the loading doors, you can find three more weapon crates spread out around the army trucks back here. After looting these crates, head along the back wall with the shelving units, where you can find several toolboxes and a ton of potential loot spawns on the shelves, including the sledgehammer for breaking down the wall in the hideout. Finally, at the very end of this hallway, before exiting the building, you can find 4 more weapon crates as well as a grenade box and ammo box in the shipping containers stacked up against the back wall. After this, you can exit the back loading bay and head out to the Emercom extraction. If you spawned on this side of the map, just run this route in reverse and you can get out the railway exfil instead. Next up, I have my simple loot and scoot run on customs that I like to hit while I'm doing raids on customs for quests. There's a really good route to open safes in the dorms, but this just cuts a path across the map, hitting several loot spots before extracting. Just like the interchange runs, this one can be done in both directions, so whatever side of the map you spawn on, you can hit all of these areas and end up near your extraction. To start this one, I'm on the bank of the river near the big red warehouse building, and I run down across the land bridge to get across the river, where to the left you can find 2 hidden stashes underneath the pipes that go down into the water. After getting these, I like to risk it and head to the crack house building through the fence. It's a risky loot spot, but you can get a lot of meds, stims, and even intelligence folders up in the library, so I think it's worth it to hit this building most of the time. From here, head out across the field towards the large fortress building, where you can find 2 really good loot rooms on the ground level with a lot of stuff in them, as well as some supply crates and toolboxes scattered around the second level. Next, head out towards the railway tracks near the old gas station, and on the left-hand side of the tracks, there's a nice little place where you can jump over the wall and get into these warehouses in the large industrial yard without going around. I would quickly check some of these warehouses, especially the shelves inside, which can sometimes spawn some rare items, and then head out from this industrial yard into the next area with all of the tanks and the large boiler stacks. The first building that you come to in this area actually has quite a lot of loot in it, so make sure you check both sides up the stairs, and you can find several computers, bags, and loot spawns in both the green screen room and the one on the other side of this building. After this, you can loot a stash under the pipes near the bunker extraction and get out, or continue to look around for more loot in these big industrial buildings. If you do spawn on this side of the map, you can just run this route in reverse and end up near the big red warehouse and the extractions on that side of the map. I like this run because it keeps you pretty far away from dorms the whole time, and it threads between both extractions, so you can grab your quest items and then loot all these areas on your way out. Finally, to finish off this video, I'll quickly cover a little run on reserve that hits the highlights in the helicopter courtyard, which actually has a ton of loot stacked into it. It's just spread out around 3 or 4 buildings with multiple levels. This run is one of my favorites to do as a scav, because PMCs often don't really loot this courtyard and the buildings, and multiple scav extractions are pretty close by here, so you can leave as soon as you find something nice. This one doesn't really have a set start or end point, so to begin with, I'll start in the courtyard near the helicopter. First, you have 1 medical crate and 2 ration crates on this truck near the helicopter. Right by this truck, you can then find a yellow van that has multiple medical spawns inside the open door, which can often spawn some nice stims for you. Right next to this van is a small brick guard post, and if you crawl through the vent hole on the ground, you can find a dead scav, a duffel bag, and some loose loot spawns. Next, the helicopter has a jacket hanging near it on the forklift, and 2 weapon crates inside the chopper itself. After looting this, you can head towards the black pawn building and loot up a technical crate by the truck parked outside. From here, I go over to the kitchen on the outside of the black bishop building, where you can find 2 jackets, a dead scav, a duffel bag in the bathroom, and multiple food spawns. Once you're done here, take the stairs down in this building, and in the open area through the wooden doors, you can find 2 more ration crates, plus 2 toolboxes and some loose stuff on the shelving units. Next, you can head through the hole in the wall here and find a weapon crate and some other items in this next room. Through here, if you head left out into the hallway, you can then find 3 rooms with jackets and duffel bags inside them, which are almost never looted by PMCs. After this, if you aren't full of loot, you can start going through all of the rooms and the rooftops of the large buildings in the courtyard, which have tons of loot spawns and containers spread throughout them. But you'll have to look carefully, as a lot of the loot is just out in the open in loose spawns. Well, that basically covers it for this video, and hopefully you can use these locations to stack yourself up with some extra loot after a good run, or just do quick loot raids and run these routes right to extraction if that's more your speed. These runs don't cover all the loot on these maps, but they're pretty simple, they require no keys, and they can be pretty helpful to get yourself started and build up your supplies. What do you think? Did I miss your favorite loot run? Is there anything you would add to these runs as I presented them? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for checking out the video. I've got links to my Twitch stream and Discord server down below for anyone interested. And until next time, stay safe in Tarkov City.